just so that people stuck in their own little microcosm in Australia thinking it's just, a local problem.
So the latest in this dystopian outrage that is now all of China, apparently, is I once again cannot buy food. A couple days ago, my uncle and my cousin helped me get a cell phone that is linked to a Chinese bank card so that I could buy anything. But now, apparently, it has been flagged for some reason, and I have to pass facial recognition identity verification, which is insane, because all I want to do is just spend my gift card balance on this debit card. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have to open my mouth. Oh my god. Terrifying. Of course, because it was my cousin who set this up for me, I did not pass verification. I guess it's a good thing that the Chinese app is not racist. But now, I once again can't buy anything.
The less local food there is, the higher prices you will pay at your grocery store.
One of the things, that you see when you fight, at this level, trying to protect freedom, is they can't get financial control unless they can control the food supply. Because people can always start their own currencies as long as they can grow food and they have animal protein. And so if you look at the push for financial control and CBDCs or things like CBDCs, it's the same push. They're pushing to control the food supply.
Now do you understand? Now do you understand what taking our firearms officers is all about? It's all about control of the masses. And they want to drop our numbers. They want to cull us off, so to speak, without actually culling us off. We're going to do it to ourselves. They're going to send us to war. We're going to kill one another, murder one another, and leave vulnerable people at home, women and children vulnerable at home, so the local crackheads can come in and kick the doors in and take everything from them. That's what's going to happen. I'm not even being extreme here. I'm trying to hold back on how it's going to be. You need to form that picture in your own head. It ain't pretty. And it's not the first time it's happened.
And there's an absolute, if you look at sort of the operations they do and the lies they tell to get that central control, a lot of it is to, excuse and justify the things they're doing to get control of the food supply. So you and I discussed pharma food,
yes,
which we published before, Dutch Farmers and Fishermen. So this is an entire study on synthetic food, including lab-grown meat and insect-based flour. Bioengineered. It's basically the pharmaceutical industry taking over the food supply. So the idea is we get rid of farmers, we kill any naturally grown food, and we engineer food in manufacturing plants and laboratories. Here's what you need to understand. One of the reasons I'm working and I'm so committed to preventing financial transaction control is that is what they are planning on to feed you synthetic lab-grown meat. No one in their right mind would ever eat this stuff. But the reality is what they're hoping is that, once they have control of your transactions, they can dictate your health policies and they can dictate what food you can and cannot buy. So if they don't want you buying pizza, you can't buy pizza. If they want you to buy pizza made with insect-based flour, that's what you're going to get. That's one of the reasons they want this kind of control. And remember, you had John Kerry saying, we ought to get rid of all the farmers. They're literally planning on getting rid of all the farmers and instituting, food.
By the way, this lady used to be an economist for the White House. Fair dinkum. She was an economist for the White House. So I don't think she's through her ass.
Created synthetically in manufacturing laboratories. You have to read it. And one of the reasons you have to read it is the reason to stop them from putting your farmers and fishermen out of business and pushing them off their land is if they succeed in doing that, you and I will be eating lab-grown meat. That's their plan.
Hi, Steve here. What if one of the most overlooked teachings of Jesus is also one of the most important? What if he already told us that his return wouldn't happen right away? Many people expect instant fulfillment, but when you look closely at the words of Jesus in the Gospels, especially in the Gospel of Matthew, a different picture begins to emerge. A pattern, a warning, a call to endurance.
Bob told us that they were going to test the alien craft that night.
Get away, fucking load of shit.
In Matthew 24, verses 45 through 51, Jesus tells a powerful parable. A master leaves his servant in charge, and then something unexpected happens. He delays his return. At first, the servant is faithful, but over time, doubt creeps in. He delays. Maybe he's not coming back anytime soon. And that's when everything changes. Jesus wasn't just telling a story. He was exposing a mindset. What happens when people think the return of Christ is far off? Do they stay faithful or drift into complacency?
The same thing happens with those who think that he's already been and gone. They give up.
Then comes another warning, this time in Matthew 25, verses 1 through 13. 10 virgins wait for a bridegroom. All of them expect him. All of them fall asleep. But only 5 are ready when the delay stretches longer than expected. The bridegroom doesn't come quickly. He comes after a delay. And when he finally arrives, it's sudden. Too late for those who weren't prepared. In Matthew 25, verses 14 through 30, Jesus tells yet another story. A master entrusts his servants with resources and then leaves for a long time. That detail matters because the test isn't just what they do, it's what they do over time. Faithfulness isn't proven in a moment, it's revealed in the waiting. After his resurrection, the disciples finally asked the question everyone wants answered. In Acts of the Apostles, Acts 1:6, they said, "Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel?" They're asking about timing. They want clarity. They want a date. But Jesus doesn't give them one. Instead, he says, "It is not for you to know the times or seasons, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you." Across all these teachings, a clear message emerges. Jesus anticipated the delay, not as a mistake, not as a failure, but as a test of readiness, a test of faithfulness, a test of endurance. The real question isn't when he returns. It's this: will you still be ready if it takes longer than you expected? If this opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, preparation isn't about predicting the moment. It's about being ready, no matter how long it takes. Stay awake. Stay ready. Think about it.
So a little while back, Jim Molan's lovely daughter, Erin Molan, stands up with the big, 7 candle stand. In our parliament, supposed to be our parliament, It's in the foreign territory called Canberra, dictated to by foreigners who do not have our best interests at heart. While they all wear their little nation state of Israel pin on their lapel and put radical Muslim and radical Christian in the same basket. Can you see the fight that's been created on purpose? Can you see it? They create the problems, they import the problems, and then they put somebody like Pauline Hanson on every platform around the place to piss them off, and then call Christians radical and put them in the same basket as Muslims. When it's not Christians or Islam that's the problem, it's radical people being manipulated by radical fuckwits, scumbags. Yeah, I know, I'm an F-bomb dropping Christian. I don't do church either. Church is people, not a building. Can you see it? Can you see it? Because, geez, I see it. Plain as a bloody print on a newspaper that's full of shit. As long as they keep playing that game, we keep fighting with one another. And like I was saying, that video should be enough to show you this isn't just an isolated problem for Australia or America or the West. China's got the same issues. Now, the big data centre, they got two. They got 9 levels deep data centre built in Jerusalem. Another one is built under the ballroom of the White House. Exactly the same data centres built in China. All by Larry Ellison. This is Larry Ellison's design. We're being played for idiots. Don't believe me, go digging, not down rabbit holes. Go and watch the Dre dossier. The red-headed girl. If you go back through my videos, you'll find some videos by the Dre dossier. She looks a bit like Scully off the X-Files. She's found the receipts of these data centres being built. 9 levels deep underground, and they can withstand missiles. And apparently they can withstand a nuclear blast. Why do you think the ballroom costs so much money? Josie, why do you walk across everyone's front lawn? Like I say, things are going to get bad and we're going to get hungry. It's time you wake up to yourselves. Think about it.